everybody, it's Stephanie and I'm here for the much requested, highly anticipated dye fringe t-shirt. And so we're going to jump right into it because it's really simple and hopefully I can make this video as short and instructional as possible. So what we're going to need is obviously our tub to put the dye bath in, gloves, dye. Today we're using black dye. I learned from prior mistakes that I'm going to use a spatula or this wooden spatula thing to mix the dye bath. So you'll need something that you won't care if it gets ruined because you probably won't be able to use it. Rubber bands, assorted sizes. Okay, this is a paintbrush, but you could also use a pencil or anything that's like thin and long, a chopstick. It's not going to get ruined, it's just going to help with creating the technique or the effects that we're going to be making. So something long and lean and thin like this. Tongs, salt, shirts. I say shirts because the dye bath will go a really long way and I don't like to waste any of it. So do this with your friends, make shirts for other people. Just try and use up as much of the dye as possible. So we have 3 shirts today. And hot water, a soda, and a cat. So if you want to see how I make the shirt, stay tuned. So the first technique we're going to do is a sunburst effect. And this is the one I used in the video before, and also the technique we showed you how to do when we were doing the dyed denim shorts. And this is one of the easiest ones to do. So you just take your rubber bands of the assorted sizes and stuff, and just start scrunching up the fabric and tying it into just tie circles. Just tie it like this. And the higher up you go or the lower down you go will determine how big the sunburst circles will be. So go ahead and do that to the entire shirt. Alright, so once you have it all rubber band up and it looks like this, you can also use it as a muff. No, I'm kidding. Put this one aside because we're going to do the second technique next. Okay, so on to the second technique. This effect is called circles and it's kind of like the first one that we did. You're going to need your pencil or whatever pointed object, and you take it, place it wherever you want the midpoint of one of the circles to be, and then instead of just doing whatever with the rubber bands, you want to make pleats with the fabric like that. And then go ahead and rubber band the bottom where you want the bottom of it to be really, really tight. Keep the pleats in place. Go ahead and take the object out. Hold it. Keep the pleats there. And then do more rubber bands up it. Smaller ones. Make sure they're super tight so that the dye doesn't run. So then go ahead and do that as many times as you want. You can do 2 big ones, you can do little ones all over the shirt. It doesn't really matter, it's up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that and then we'll do the dye bath. So sometimes cats don't make the best assistants because they fall asleep on the job. Okay, so the next step is just to mix your dye bath, and as always I have the RIT dye because it's the cheapest and easy. It's really accessible. So just mix your dye according to the instructions. Once again, while I'm hard at work, check out where the assistant is. Okay, now it's time to go ahead and dip our first shirt, the white one. So just go ahead. So just make sure it gets all in there. Nice and saturated. Okay, now just go ahead and wring it out and put it on. I'm putting it on a cookie sheet. I don't know if that's the best idea. Be careful because the water is still going to be really hot. Okay, so we put water in here, a little bit more to dilute the color. And now we're going to go ahead and put this kind of peachy colored one in and see what happens. Okay, so now we're just gonna take off the rubber bands and see how the shirts came out. Okay, so here they are with all the rubber bands taken out of them. This is just the regular sunburst one that we did. Looks really good. And then here's the circle one that we did. Here's the back. And now we're going to go and throw these in the washer on the rinse cycle, throw them in the dryer, and then we'll come back and show you how to fringe them. Okay, so the last and final step to making your fringe tie-dye top is to fringe it. So you're going to take the top, lay it out, determine where you want the fringe to end. You can have the fringe be right along the bottom, you can have it be in the middle, or you can make it into a cropped one and do it all the way to the top and just snip so you have a mark of where you want it, like that. And the easiest and most effective way to do this is to lay it out flat and cut it in directly down the middle so that you have two equal sides, and then start cutting it into halves each way until you got the strands about this thin. So just go ahead and cut down the middle first, and then cut them in half, and just repeat the steps until you have all of the pieces cut. Okay, so the last step is tying the knots. It's only optional. You could leave it like this, just with without any knots, but I like to tie them. So you just make simple knots at the top of them. You can also do them at the bottom if you'd like. I did them at the top and bottom on this shirt. Here's at the top, and here's at the bottom. So I think I have one more to finish on this. I just did the top ones on this because I like the look of it on the bottom. So this one is really short, so we'll have to see what it looks like. And yeah, these are the finished products. As always, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.